So, servus, here we go again. As always, I'm using this for my tracking, for all my stocks. For more explanation, watch the first two videos. There I explained it. So let's start with SPY. So, what we have done yesterday. This drop here. And this drop here was because of Trump news, of course, an announcement. But the thing was, it was just a drug deal. So, yeah, absolutely bearish. Okay. We start with the bullish version. For the bullish version, this whole thing here in the middle tracking was just a higher low. And the higher low, in my opinion, right now, would be finished. If you look a little bit into the little tracking, it looks fantastic. You have your V on the A here. This V on the A. Then somewhere in here is your A, B peak, your C peak. You're coming down, here's your lower high, your midpoint, you fall down to your V on the A. This is your T, perfect V on the A. And then again, make your A peak, B peak, C peak. Here is your L, this would be your M, this is your T. I just didn't put it in because it's too small. And again, perfect V on the A. Then you come up again, APC coming down. Perfect V on A. So, what are for the bullish version, our price targets for today and Monday would be, we already got our A peak. This was pre-market, this was the perfect fall under. I mean, we will have a gap to the downside. I will come to that later. But right now, on extended hour, this was our A pullback should be already finished. This is our higher low. Our next target would be 664 for our B peak. And for the bullish version, you should break this trend line. You should go over the last C peak and the biggest C peak for C. For the bearish version, you don't break over this peak. And it would be the third time. And what that would mean, that this whole thing here is just your lower high. The lower high of this wouldn't be B, this would be mid C. And what that would mean, you have two targets. The first one is 635 for a V and A, and if this is not holding, your second one would be under 600. And that would, again, as I already said, be the broadening wedge from SPY again. And we would already be in the downtrend. So if this is happening, I would imagine you maybe go to 664, 666 today. And maybe you have a bullish day today. But if you reject somewhere in here, I think next week will be absolutely hilarious, right? Because the second time you the second time you touch this trend line on the daily, this would mean that this pullback was nothing what would come. But right now I would look at it bullish. It looks perfect right now. Let's see what's doing. So let's look at our stocks. NIO. I already said that yesterday. We would be in big C right now because this was your A. For your A, oh, did I already mention NIO? No, I don't think NIO is the first time today. Okay, no, it's the first time today. So we completely start complete fresh. This would be your A, your big A. The only thing is, I put M here, the middle point, just because of the price target of B. And in my opinion, the C is just invisible because here you have your IPO, but it makes the most sense that you have here your C fall under, make your midpoint, fall under again, and this is your T, and you drop to your invisible V under A. So this is A. This is big B. I explain that in a second again because that's important. So you come to your V under A, do your higher low, do your A, which is a little bit higher than your T, but it's okay, pull back, do your B, do your C. Right now, your C is your all-time high, but again, the invisible C could be higher. But right now, it's the all-time high. Then you do your lower high, midpoint, again with the B line, where you bounce, fall under it, reject, come up one time again, reject, and you fall. Doing your T, and fall to your V. So why isn't that a V under A? Because it should have come down to $2. And if so, because I showed that on Bull, for example, that would mean that this should be a T, because we didn't get our V under A. But here comes the big B. The big B doesn't have to fall under V under A. It can do a higher low. That's why this is important, and that's why it's perfect. So right now, higher low is finished, the big one and the smaller one. And you already did your big A peak, which would be in the small tracking your C peak. So now what is coming next? The thing is, you have here your high low, the little one. You have here your A peak, your little A, your little B, perfectly pulls back to the 0.5 retracement on the fib, and you see. So right now, I think if you're not just bouncing here and go to your B, which should be at $16-ish, you have a good chance to fall back to your V under A, the little one, which also would be just a breakout retest. How this would look like. Remember this price action here. You're coming from your T, you make your A, B, C, and drop. This is nothing else than exactly this move here. You're coming down, you make your V, you make your A, B, C, and in my opinion, we would be exactly here, right now. So if we look at this pattern, let's do the method bars pattern. Where is it? Here. Here. So how that would look like is, if you look at this, coming from your V, coming from a V, higher low, A, B, B, C, C. So in my opinion, there are three possibilities how this will go for the future. First, the bullish one, we bounce here, go to B. Perfect. Second one, we are going to our little lower high. Don't break this top and fall to our V and A. Doing our little higher low and go to B. Or you bounce here and go. For me, I would look like more we're doing our V and A, our breakout retest. If we're doing that, no financial advice, but this zone right here, is for me the perfect buy-in for, as I said in the last videos already, 6 months out contracts near the money. Perfect. Luck. So again, go weekly. So for the big tracking, you go from your C down to your V and higher low. Fractal finished. This would also be the big C. Then you start completely new. This whole thing here is higher low. So this would be a completely bigger higher low. Why isn't that A and B, the big A and B? Because again, we are here lower and B isn't lower than A. Why isn't that higher low and A? Again, because we are lower. And right now, higher low would be finished and we would be on our way to A. So what have we done in the last days, weeks? We go on the daily. Yeah. Coming from EC, lower high, midpoint, down to ET. V and A finished, higher low finished. A peak. I still think we didn't got our big A peak, and our B peak would be $31. So what have we done? We did our high low. Little A finished, pullback finished. B peak is this, already finished. B pullback should be finished. Our price target for A is still around here. But we already saw that the A peak could be a little bit higher. So for me, just because of this trend line, I would imagine that A would be around here. You come up, break out, retest, and then go. Something like that. For bullish confirmation, break 471. Perfect. I wouldn't like to break the B line under $3 because it wouldn't look right and we would have to look at it again. Right now, we wicked a little bit under the trend line, but that's for these uptrending trend lines. It's not that important. Not to break them. It looks right perfectly. I would imagine we just slowly grind up, or with stupid moves, we could get strong moves too. Right now, it looks okay. Fuel cell. We're coming from our C, first fractal down to our V. First one is finished. High, low, go to a C. This one is a lower peak. Coming down again to our T and our V and A. We already did our high, low. Here also, I think we didn't get our A peak yet, and our B peak would be at 131. So what would come next? Right now, we did our little V and A, Our little high low is finished. Our little A peak is finished. The A peak pullback is finished. The B pullback, the B peak is finished, and we would be in the B pullback right now. Should be kind of finished here. The same again. We broke the little trend line. For bullish confirmation, I would say now you have to break the 1232, 37, the bull line, to be absolutely bullish. And here again, I would think our A would be something like this, A pullback, and ready to go. And here again, I don't really want to see the break under 740, the B line. If that happens, we have to look again. Bed Bath and Beyond. Just for the overview. We did our V, high, low, A, B, C. Perfect low, high, perfect midpoint. Again, myth. Bounce, bounce, reject, reject. Come up, can't hold it, reject, reject one last time. Going to your V and A. So, for the bullish tracking, this means this was your T, this was your V and A, this is your high, low. And in my opinion right now, we would already have done a peak, and a pullback has to be finished. I say that absolutely clearly. It has to be finished here. You have to see a bounce now, in that moment, now. That's the only way I can say I am still bullish on Bed Bath and Beyond. If true, you have to bounce here. You have to go over 1260, 1270 and go to your B, which would be at $36. And then you're doing your B pullback and then C. My only problem with this is, I said I don't like to break trend lines, but not the uptrending trend lines. I don't like to break the limit lines. We broke through the bear line, which is already bad. And yesterday, we broke under the no-no line. And for me, that's... I always show two sides, but my personal opinion, for me, that is absolutely bearish. We came over it again, okay, but a break is a break. For me, what I would imagine is, for me, the T is confirmed. Of course, not 100%, but for me, the T line is 90% confirmed. Could be wrong. And your next move is finding a new low. The only question for me is it a higher low of 2020? Or are we doing a new all-time low? And what that would look like is, look at this. You're coming from your M, come up again, do your M pattern or W pattern. This is your T. This side is higher than this side and your knife. It's the same like 2020. You're coming from your M, you come up again, you're doing your M or W pattern. This is your T. This right side is higher. And your knife. For me, that's very obvious. Let's see what happens. But my price targets right now, just my personal opinion, is something under 354, or for the worst case, something under 248. But to say that, that's not doom and gloom, because after that, if that is happening, you're still doing your V and A, you're still doing your higher low, and then you go. And if you're doing that, after that, your A target is 1264, 65, and your B stays the same with 36. So you could even make money to the downside and then massively to the upside, because this should happen quickly. This should at least happen this year already. And of course, with this move down here, should be absolutely cheap. But let's see what's happening. For grab, you're coming from VC, lower high, midpoint T, V finished, high, low finished. And for this one, A peak is also already finished. And we would be in the A pullback. So two things. This is your big A. This would be your middle B peak. And at the same time, your little C peak. So, normally, because this is little C peak, you should come down to your V and A on the little time frame. The thing is that this is also middle B, because this is middle A. You don't have to come down to your V and A. So you only have to come down to your 0.5 fib retracement. So, two ways. First, you bounce here and go to your B. Perfect. Break over 662. Bullish. Perfect. You're not finished with your B pullback. You will come down, go to your 0.5 line, bounce here, and then you go. Perfect. For the bearish version, I still don't have an alternative. But still, for the bearish version, I don't want to see it to break under 468, but it would be possible because you can drop a little bit under the fib line. Let's say the BLN would be this. So we have more room. What I really don't want to see is breaking under the no-low line. Then we have to look again. Blink. So we're coming from our C, lower high, midpoint, somewhere in here is T, V finished. Fractal finished. Second fractal, you do your A, B, C, lower peak, coming down to your T, perfect V and A, higher low is already finished. And right now we would be on the way to our A peak, which I also think we didn't got still. Next target after the A pullback would be $26 for a B pullback. So what have we done? Thing is, we did our V, same as the big one, high, low. A, little a would be finished, A pullback would be finished, and right now we would be in the little B and in the little B pullback. For me, it could easily be already finished with the pullback because we already came down to the 0.5 fib retracement, and that would mean we bounce here, break the bull line by 284 and go to your A, little pullback, and then your B. What I don't want to see is breaking under the B line, and what makes this tracking wrong would be breaking under the no-low line at $1. SAVA? It's Friday. So, we start here. V, A pullback finished, B pullback finished, C, coming down, get the T, perfect V and A, right now in high-low. So, we are absolutely in the range of gap filling right now. So on the daily we have to look, because on the daily this is still higher than this. So because on the 23 hours we would be already in it, but on the daily we aren't. So I think we're doing, there are two ways. First one, we're doing nothing today. Just little movements, little uptrending, nothing. And after hours or Monday pre-market, you see the gap fill. Price target would be gap fill at 25. Our A peak would be at 40, and B, who cares? The alternative for this is you see, let's look at this on the daily again today. So you come up to $556 and reject here. That would be a big move, 30-25%. We already saw that during market hours, and that's why I don't want to see that during market hours today, because that would mean we are in the old. If we see a run to something between $5 and $6 and reject here, I personally, no financial advice, but I would get out of my position. Not completely, just to be safe, but a good chunk of it, because then for me the alt has a good chance to play out, because then you reject here at your C, do your V&A or a new low. And how that would look like, this would be this here. You come from your T, doing your V, and you would be in this candle here, which is slightly over where the gap started again. And in my opinion, this target would be something between $6 and $5. You would reject. And if we're doing this move today, I think we will see after hours on Monday this knifing candle to a new low. The next 1-2 months, you're doing this uptrend, and then you have the next chance to gap fill. What I assume to be where we are right now is this. You're coming from your T, drop, have your A peak, B peak, go into a downtrending channel, and you would be in this candle right now and ready to gap fill, which looks exactly here. V, high, low, A peak, B peak, downtrending channel, and we are in this candle right now. And again, most likely, all these gap fills were Friday, Monday, pre-market, after hours, all of them. So it's a 100% risk play, and it's just miss it or risk it. Yeah. But if it hits, it's a absolutely burner. Okay. AI. You come from EC, lower high, midpoint TV, fractal finished, doing your ABC second fractal with stupid C because only $1 higher and really big B. You come down again, and here's your V&A, perfect. And we would be in our higher low right now. Our target for A is $30. Our target for B is $36. In the last days, we just did nothing. You could set a trend like that, but I want it still to be here because you have 1 touch point, 2 touch points, 3, 4. We fell a little bit under it. But again, with these lines, not that bad. For bullish confirmation, break 20, perfect. For this, I have an alt, because if you break under this B line again, I think the higher low and the V under A is wrong. And this would be your T. And you would come down and find a new V under A in this range here. And then again, do your V under A, higher low. The only thing which would change is, of course, time, a new low. And your A would be at $20, not at $30. And your B peak would be $36. So It's just a waiting thing right now, in my opinion. GNS, still range bound. Again, you come from a C, come to your V. High low is finished. A peak is also finished. We are in the A pullback right now. So, two ways. First bullish possibility is A pullback is finished. This is working if this is your A. Because then you have a V and A, perfect. High low, perfect. You already broke out. Did your little A peak. The A pullback should be finished. So I'm saying that every video should be finished. Bullish would be breaking bull line at 129, and your next target is your B at 80. Alternative would mean this A is wrong. So this V under A and higher low is wrong. We did our T peak, and right now we're still looking for our V under A, because then this is your A. High low, breakout, and your A would be here, and we go. Right now I'm pretty 50-50 still on it, because we are near, but it's just doing nothing right now. Yeah. What I don't want to see is breaking the no line, because then something is wrong. But again, this stock normally is doing V high low and go. Same here, V high low and go. If this is sometime finished, I think it will be a quick mover. OCGN. So you're coming from C, midpoint V, finished. High low ABC, lower peak. Then again, lower high TV, finished. Second one, and we would be in the third one right now. And that would mean high low is finished, and right now we are on the run to our A peak, which would be around $70 and then $170. And I already said I will close everything here, just because this is A peak. That's a big A peak and a small C peak, and you will reject here. For the bullish part, you're doing a pullback, retest, go. For the bearish part, lower high, midpoint T, and whatever. What we did in the last days was just B, high low, A peak finished, A pullback finished, B peak finished, and for me right now, the B pullback should already be finished, because we came back perfectly to the 0.5 FIB. So if true, you would trend up now, break the bull line at 190, and your next target would be 312. And then, of course, upside. What I don't want to see is falling under the NOLO line at 116. Then we have to track it again and look what's happening. FFAI. So you're coming from a C, lower high, midpoint, T, V under A, hello. Price targets, I'm not talking about the unrealistic price targets. For the realistic price targets, your A around 545, B 10, and C would be something in here. You're not breaking 154. What have we done in the last days? We already did our ABC. We did our perfect V and A. And right now, the only thing we want is holding this higher low. If this is holding, your bullish target is breaking over 168 and then AB. And as already said, I don't think for the bullish version we are doing this, because same like GNS, V higher low, C, V higher low, C, V higher low, C. This stock is not a small mover, as a slow mover. What I don't want to see, breaking under this no low line, or even, breaking under this, because then V&A is wrong, higher low is wrong, and we still have to look for a new V&A. What this could look like is we would be in this here right now, the same like we would be in this here right now. We would still have to look for a new V&A, which isn't allowed to break under 180, 108. So it's, in my opinion, it would be here, something in here. But right now, it's still looking bullish. Last thing, bull. You're coming from a C, lower high, midpoint T. Perfect V&A, higher low. And right now, we already did our A peak. A pullback should be finished. Our next target is our B peak at $33. The only thing we want to see, and the only thing we're interested in is we want to hold this higher low. We don't want to drop under 1051 or double bottom. No, we have to stay over at least 1056. This has to hold a higher low. If not, you are not allowed to break 1027. You have to be over that. But right now, it looks bullish. For bullish confirmation, break 1280. Then you get your A, B, and so on. For symmetry tracking, it would be just, you take this price action here, flip it to this side, and read it from right to left. And that would just mean, here's your B, here's your A, pull back, come up, here's your A, pull back, and this pullback would be this pullback here. And this pullback is already 2 to 3 times slower, but also bigger, which, if bullish is right, we should see bigger moves, which also mean we're looking for this move right now. This move should be our next move. And again, if you look here, we would be exactly here right now. And if you look closer, you have here a higher low and here a lower low. It's the same like here. Higher low, lower low. So we get interesting if we see this move. Okay. So again, if you have questions, just write it in the comments. If you want to see other stocks, write it in the comments. If you liked it, leave a like or abo. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.